All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and pick up here with Tic Tac Toe, and we're going to start working on how to pick up if there is a winner. Did someone win or was there a tie? Because right now we left off, we're able to press the screen. Our buttons change from X to O, so we got a good start. But now we're going to move forward. So one thing I want to show you before we move on here is just working with this game state array. So remember, we set the game state up here with zeros. Again, these each are a spot on the board. And again, it's going to be one or two just based on where we click. So just to give you an idea how that's going to look here, just something that you can use to, just if you want to see what happens here, let's go ahead and put a print statement here and then just type in game state. All right, and then what I'm going to do, again, this might not work with you, or just it might take a little longer. So if you just want to watch this here, just so you can, I'm going to give you an idea of how this game state works here. But basically, I'm going to show you that every time we press one of those buttons here, I'm going to show you how game state changes, because then that's going to lead up to what we're going to do next here to determine, if there's a winner or a loser. Okay, so again, like I said, you can just watch this one on the screen here as opposed to running yours. But again, if you really want to see it work with yours, go ahead and load it up and then just wait for it to play out here. But here we go. So now remember, the game starts. All right, our board, it's all zeros. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those will correspond to the different grids on our game board here. All right, and then remember our code from the last one. Again, we were changing the wherever we clicked on, we were changing it to that tag -1, and then from there, if it was 0, again, it would check the state. So now let's take a look here. So every time I press here, okay, again, you're going to go ahead and see. Get that text message out of here. You're going to go ahead, you notice down here the game state's changing. All right, so now after I press, it's got 1. That's 1. Remember, we set 1 to X's here. When I press here, so notice how the game state is constantly changing here. So when I fill up this full board, I'm getting that array every time. And when you get to the bottom one here, you can kind of follow the pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, so on here. So now what we've got to do with that kind of logic in mind here is we got to figure out how we're going to determine if there's a winner or a loser, or not a loser, just, how do we determine when there's a winner to stop the game, okay? So, but again, that game state, again, you can see now how every time you click on it, it changes, all right? So the 1 is the X, 2 is the O, and you can kind of follow that here. So that's the kind of the significance of this game state variable, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close that out here and come back to our code. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called winning combination. All right, and then what this is going to be, it's going to be an array of possible, possible different arrays that can go into our. I'm getting all these text messages here. Just really popular guy, huh? Yeah. But so when you look at your storyboard, the winning combinations in Tic Tac Toe, you can win across, down, and diagonal, right? So now we got to look at it this way here. So we're going to start with this as 0. So 0, 1, 2 is a combination. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are some winning combinations here. So when we go back to our code, we got to put those in as arrays. Okay, so we'll go ahead and plug that in. And then we can go 0, 1, 2. So that's one winning combination. All right, and then we just got to repeat that for the rest of those ones. So 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then the last one of the rows across would be 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's the first part. So now we just have to kind of continue that pattern with the rest of the board. So now you got to account for up and down, and then the diagonals. Okay, so now again, if you kind of get that, you can kind of maybe speed ahead in the video. If not, I'm going to type the rest of these down. So again, this will be the up and down. So 0, 3, and 6. Okay. Then we've got 1, 4, 7. And then we've got 2, 5. Let me put that array on that one for me. Sorry, guys. 2, 5, and 8. All right, and then the diagonals would be 0, 4, and 8. And then the last one, 2, 4, and 6. So those are all the potential winning combinations. We'll talk about a tie game a little later. Right now we're just going to focus on the winning combinations. So those are the ones we need. So those are the combinations that are going to happen. So every time the button presses, remember, it's going to look at this game state board here, and it's going to try to figure out when these combinations are hit. So that's the next thing. We got to figure out how the heck do we do that, okay? So every time the player clicks a button, we need this code to run. So we're going to put it inside button pressed. All right, and then again, like so, we got to get that code to check. So we're going to use something called a for loop. So we want to loop through these winning combinations to try to find when one's a winner. All right, so to do that, we're going to start off by typing for, and then we're going to type out combination in winning combination. So what this is saying is, so we're going to basically, we created an array here, combination, let combination, an array of ints that's going to loop through winning combination every time we press the button. So basically a combination here is all these different combinations. So it's going to check for those, it's going to check each combination to see if there's a winner. Okay, so for example, okay, so as it goes through that, all right, it's going to check to see, again, so for example, if 6, 7, and 8 were the winning combination, okay, it's going to check in the array here, so it would check spots 6, 7, and 8, and if they're all 1s or all 2s, then we have a winner, okay? Or let's say the winning combination, let's say combination loop through and it stopped on 0, 3, 6. It would check spot 0, it would check spot 3, and then check spot 6. And then if that were the case, if those are all 1s or 2s, you'd get a winner. Okay, so now once we get all this code put in here, we'll run it and then we'll do the same thing down here and you'll kind of be able to see what's going on here. But for this video, I just wanted to kind of talk first just about kind of what this for loop's going to check for. And then I'm going to kind of break these videos down into smaller chunks for you. That first one was kind of lengthy and I apologize for that one. So I'm going to break these down in just a couple smaller parts just so it's a little easier for you to go through them and a little less to, just a little, I think easier to process here. But again, so as we look at combination, we're going to loop through winning combination. And then the combination are all these arrays here. These are this is combination. All right, and it's looking for the one that has the winning one. So again, if it stopped on 0, 1, and 2, it's checking spot 0, 1, and 2. And if they all the same, it stops. If not, we keep going. So it keeps looping until it finds one of these combinations that has, the all 1s or all 2s. So that's how this for loop's going to work. Okay, so not a whole lot of code on this one, more just kind of explanation here, but I just wanted to kind of get your head around that here before we put the if statements in there. So I'm going to stop it here for now. We'll pick up shortly with the next video. If that still isn't making sense, call me over. Maybe I can explain a little more to you. But again, I just wanted to just start with that. So good job with that. And then we'll talk. Oh, getting called here. Wife's calling. Look at that. It must be time to go. All right, getting the phone calls in. So good deal, guys. We'll see you in the next video. And then let me know if you have any questions.